So, good evening, and welcome along to the final big music show of 2018. Coming up on the show this week, we'll have music from singer-songwriter Cormac Neeson. The Leading Ladies are currently celebrating 15 years in the business, and they'll be singing something Christmassy. But starting the show off tonight, one of the best bands ever to come out of Belfast with their massive hit, Broken Land. Here are The Adventures.
Schemes of men for days that lay ahead. They sail their souls so cheap. They breed mistrust and fill my heart with dread. When did the boy become a man and lose his life to learn? So much confusion to this plan. These times are not changing. Show me the love to keep us together. Open up your hearts, don't turn me away. Comfort me through this stormy weather where I stand. I see a broken land. This boy has learned to fail. In times like these, to cry seems so absurd. His own life's crisis in the shadow of this truly dying world. These are the games we played at school, our hands raised in despair, with no exception to the rule. These times are not changing. Show me the love to keep us together. Open up your hearts, don't turn me away. Comfort me through this stormy weather from where I stand. And I see a broken land. Where is the love to keep us together? Open up your hearts, don't turn me away. Comfort me through this stormy weather from where I stand. I see a broken land.
So there we go, The Adventures with A Broken Land, and Terry Sharp from the band joins me in the studio. Terry, how are you, sir?
Hello, and happy everything.
Last time we were working together was a massive charity gig somewhere.
Up at the Ramada Hotel, wasn't it?
That's the one,
Must
yeah.
be 10 years ago, yeah.
You guys
that's right.
rocked the place.
Yeah,
didn't
I think so. And forgive me, I may not have said cheerio to you at the end of it, but I was probably drinking beer, feeling a little bit more unsteady.
I think so.
After the show, of course. After the show. After
Of
the
course.
Show.
But
Because
that song, Broken Land, still rocks the place no matter when.
yeah.
And everybody knows it right from the first piano bits at the start of it. It's one of those songs you go,
That's right. It
Broken Land.
just pulls you into it, you know, and that's why I think it was so popular on the radio as well.
Yeah.
You know, people just got played to death, you know, all over the place.
Did you realise how big it was going to be?
We knew we'd made a great record, and I knew that I'd sang it really well and all that kind of thing. But you never know, because we you know, you think you make a great record. You know, every time you make a record, you think you're doing your very, very best. But you've got no way of judging the you know, how people are going. There's so many other different things that getting a hit record depends upon. You know, if the people on the radio like it, or if you're, you know, if you can get it on TV, all those kinds of things. It's all very, very political, and but it helps, of course, if you've got a great song, which we knew we had.
And of course, you were working with Simon Fuller back in the day as well, way before Spice Girls fame and stuff.
That's
weren't
right.
you?
Yes. That was actually the first music business meeting we had was with Simon Fuller when he was in his office, in a tiny little office at Chrysalis Publishing, you know. And we only got to meet him because the other guy that we'd arranged the meeting with had to go and see a band up north somewhere. Right. And he called us and said, look, listen, my assistant Simon is here, he'll see you, and he's great, you know, and blah, 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 blah. And we went in and sort of, like, he didn't have much time. He said, look, there's our demo, you know, hope you like it, and sort of give us a ring when you've heard it, you know, nothing, we not hear from him, or if we did, we'd maybe get a letter, a very polite, you know, whatever. But I got home and the phone was ringing, you know, and he said, yeah, I really love this, you know, come down, you know, and that was the start of our association with Simon.
So once you had the big success with Broken Land, what was it like? Was it touring the world? Was it all glamour and showbiz?
It was mostly, you know, doing TV things. In fact, when we play it, every time we play it or hear it on the radio, it just reminds me of just going to places like Italy and Germany and all these places to mime to it, you know, weird. And yeah, good, very, very good fun times.
And we've got to talk about the gigs that are coming up in January in the Empire.
Yeah. We're doing 2 shows, 4th and 5th at the Empire, and we've been rehearsing for the shows, and it's all sounding really, really good. So we're really looking forward to it, you know. And
you've got our good friend Joby Fox.
So yeah, Joby's going to be supporting us, and I think he's going to be playing his new album, you know, and also a few songs that he wrote when he was with Energy Orchard as well. So he's got a few hits.
So these gigs at the Empire, they're being billed as your final gig. Is this the final gig for the Adventures, or might you come back 5 years down the line?
You never close the door on anything, Robin, and I think I suspect maybe the venue or the agent or someone like that is trying to sell tickets or promote it as something, you know. But no, we never close the door on anything. So
brilliant.
We may be back. You know?
Good. Let's hope so. Well, make sure they get their tickets for the gig at the Empire. Terry, have a great night there.
My pleasure, Robin. Thank you.
You're going to do one more song for us before you go. What are you going to do this time?
I'm going to do a tune called "Washington Deceased." Which
great
is
title.
It's from our 3rd album.
What was the story behind this one?
Well, it was my colleague Pat who wrote the tune, and I suppose it's a slightly anti-American thing, you know. But you see, you can't walk 2 blocks in the States without seeing somebody begging or homeless, and land of the free, home of the brave. Well, maybe not.
All right.
But that's the kind of the thing of it, you know.
Terry, thank you for joining us, and have yourself a great Christmas.
My pleasure, Robin, and you. Thank you.
So here we go, one more time. Here are The Adventures.
Fat cat sitting in a big white house. So won't you look into the street? No wave, no smile, no wink of the eye. That's not the stuff we need. Still pretending you're on top of the world, from Bedford Falls to Rome. Before you dishing out the apple pie, get your laundry done at home. Oh, can't you hear me? I need some form of release. Life's not for living here. To feast your eyes, just take a walk into the center of the city. Say a prayer for Washington deceased. Washington deceased. Grandpa killed 1,000 Indians when he fought the old frontier. Rambo gives it to the Viet Cong with a message loud and clear. Here in your backyard, the cracking and the jacket to stumble through the day. Beat 'em, cheat 'em, but never ever meet 'em just to hope they go away. Oh, can't you hear me? I need some form of release. Life's not forgiving here. Adjust your eyes and take a walk into the center of the city. Say a prayer for Washington deceased. Washington deceased. Oh, can't you hear me? I need some form of release. Life's not for living here. To feast your eyes, just take a walk into the center of the city. When you're this close, the world changes you pretty. Give us hope, but don't give us your pity. Say a prayer for Washington deceased. Washington deceased. Washington deceased. Rest in peace, Washington deceased.
My little boy's got a broken wing, needs a little help with most everything. But when he grows up, he'll be a king and won't need to worry at all. His mom and me, we're his family. Normal to us was never gonna be. But tell me what's normal anyway. If you've got the answer, feel free to call. He don't need to fly. That's alright, neither do I. Perfectly beautiful, beautifully perfect, and I wouldn't change a thing. But my baby's broken wing. I'll carry him if he needs me to. Guard him from vultures, won't let them get through. Sing him a song to help him sleep, and I'll perfectly beautiful, beautifully perfect, and I wouldn't change a thing. But my baby's broken wing. Perfectly beautiful, beautifully perfect, and I wouldn't change a thing. No, I wouldn't change nothing. But my baby's broken wing. Broken wing. Ooh.
So that's a song called Broken Wing from Cormac Neeson, who joins us now in the studio. Cormac, how are you, sir?
I'm very well. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Tell us the story behind that song then, Broken Wing.
It's a tribute to my eldest son. I've got two little boys now. The eldest is 4, and when he was first born, he was very premature. He was in hospital for the first 4 months of his life. So I wanted to write a kind of tribute to him, you know. Davok has Down syndrome as well, so I also wanted to, I suppose, write a song that hopefully might get people thinking a bit more about what Downs is, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a very intensely personal song for me, but like I made a conscious decision when I was writing this album that I wasn't gonna hold back, gonna put it all out there. And I mean, I feel like I've had all these experiences, and my family's gone through so much that if I can make a bit of music out of it, then you know, there's something positive has come out of it all, as well as obviously the fact that my son's doing really, really well now. We've had a period of relative calm over the last couple of years, which has been great as well.
Good, yeah. So tell us about the new album then, White Feather, it's called. It's taken some time to kind of get this whole project together, hasn't it?
It has, but most records do take a lot longer than what you first expect. You know, you think you've got, 12, 15 songs, just get them recorded and the record will be out a couple of months later, but that's never the case. So yeah, I mean, I went to Nashville to record this album not far off a year ago now. It was last January. Came home with the spine of the record done, but then I needed to take a bit more time back here in Belfast to really finesse the whole thing, add some finishing touches and take a bit of time over the mixing process. So I was lucky enough to get into the studio with a good friend of mine, Dean Stevens. He has a studio out in Hollywood, and he had a lot of patience and a lot of time to get the record just right, and I don't regret. I mean, an album takes as long as it's going to take, and I wasn't going to put it out until I felt it was ready, and thankfully now it's ready.
So how would you describe the sound of this new album then?
It's, I suppose, very different to what people would probably expect from me at this point. Obviously spent many years playing in a rock and roll band. This is a bit more chilled out, kind of Americana country soul vibe running through it. Still, I'd like to think unmistakably written by my hand, I haven't completely turned my back on who I am or where I've come from creatively, but I think it'll surprise a few people.
Yeah, okay. And what about the whole process of working in Nashville? Did you enjoy that?
Very much so, yeah. Kind of fell in love with that town. I'm sure I'm not the first person to sit in this chair and tell you that, but yeah, I went out a couple of years back to do some writing, to like one of these, almost like a songwriting camp type situation, and just met so many great people out there, and felt very relaxed and very at home in that kind of environment, that kind of writing environment, because it's quite different to, with The Answer, we write a lot of the songs would emerge from jams in the room and might take weeks or months to complete, but over there it's a bit more I don't want to say conveyor belt. At times it can be like that. It can feel like that. But you know, you go into a writing session in the morning, and you kind of have to have the song finished by the time you go home that night. And that kind of pressure, kind of worked well for me. You know, it brought I suppose a newfound focus to the way I approach songwriting, and I suppose I've continued on with that. I've been back there on a few occasions now, and I've got very involved in the co-writing scene here in Belfast as well. So there's songs on there that I've written with friends of mine from Nashville, friends from here. Some people I've known and worked with in London as well. So there's a nice spread of music and a nice spread of, I suppose, creative input in there.
And you've been testing the music out. I know you've done a couple of gigs in the Duke of York, and they've done some in London and Dublin recently as well, haven't you? Yeah,
I did a couple of weeks back. Did a couple of sold-out shows here in Belfast, which was fantastic. One in Dublin, one in London. Just to really, I put one of the songs I recorded with you guys, "Don't Wait Up." I put it out there to radio just to I suppose begin to get a bit of a buzz going. That'll hopefully feed into the release of the record early in April. So there's another single going out in January, and it just feels like momentum's starting to build now. It's kind of got to that stage now where I've been sitting on this record for so long. Now it's the really important bit where people get to hear it and get to judge it, and that's a bit nerve-wracking, but like I say, I'm ready for it.
Are you enjoying the solo life now? Because you were in, of course, the band The Answer. You mentioned that. Have you kind of put the rock and roll days behind you now? No,
not at all. Not at all. I mean, I think you can tell by the songs in this record that they're deeply personal to me. With The Answer, it's very much a democratic thing. You know, everybody has at sometimes equal amount of input into the songs and into everything we do, and that's one of the great strengths about what The Answer is. But with this album, you know, these songs wouldn't work on an Answer record.
Yeah.
And at the same time, these are songs that I needed to write and I needed to record. So, no, whenever the time's right, we'll be getting back into the studio to make what will be album number 7. But at the moment, I'm very much focused on just seeing this project through, and it'll be interesting to see where it takes me.
Of course, with The Answer as well, you played many big gigs, didn't you, and supported kind of big superstars. Didn't you actually tour with the Rolling Stones?
We did a few shows around Europe with the Stones, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting. Obviously did the big AC/DC World Tour as well. We've been lucky, you know, we've played a lot of big gigs, a lot of big bands. The Stones were right up there now, you know, we get taken in, I think it was in Belgrade in Serbia, we get taken into they've like a travelling backstage area that's exactly the same no matter where they are in the world, you know.
Right.
It's called the Rattlesnake Inn, and we get taken in and we got to meet the band, and Mick Jagger came waltzing in and he's like, "Oh, a few Scottish lads, are you?" And it's like, "No, Irish." He's like, "Oh, it's just a joke." So Mick Jagger kind of was pulling my leg.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you know, it's taken us, our music's taken us all around the world. It's still, you know, still maintain our own headline shows are always the highlight amongst it all. You know, we've done a couple of big gigs in the Ulster Hall, for example, and they're the first gigs that I turn to in my memory and in my mind as the major highlights so far, you know, but there's much more to come as well.
One of my big memories will always be the year you guys headlined the Big Buzz Awards in the Whitla Hall. We had you on last on the evening, and really you nearly blew the Whitla Hall to pieces, I think.
Well, obviously that's at the very top of the pile, you know, But yeah, that was a great night. I thought we were discussing before we went on air how we were sitting at the same table as Timmy Mallet that night. I think at one point he may have fallen off his chair, but maybe that was me. I don't know, it's all a bit hazy. But yeah, it was a good night too.
Looking ahead to next year, obviously the album coming out next year.
Yeah. I feel good moving into 2019. You know, I think it's all set up for a big year, hopefully. There's been a lot of positioning has been going on this year, getting the record finished, and you know, just I suppose forming a bit of a roadmap to get from A to B next year, and we'll get the album out in April, and I think it'll be very busy from pretty much whenever I get back to it in January, getting things set up. I've got a single coming out and stuff, and lots of gigs that are going to need played, and yeah, it's quite an exciting time. I think I genuinely feel I've made a really strong record and one I'm very proud of, and I just really hope that I get the chance. You know, I don't expect to get anything handed to me, but I just want to get the opportunities to get my music out to the people who I know will appreciate it, and take it from there.
Great stuff. You're going to do one more before you go. What are you going to do this time?
Sure, yeah. This is a song, the first release from the record, released it there a few weeks ago. It's called Don't Wait Up.
And is there a story behind this one?
Yeah, it sounds like it's morbid, but it's not meant to be. It's written from the perspective of a dead man, right? But this guy's 6 feet under, cozy, content, happy to not be up above dealing with the madness that's going on in the world up there. So it's just kind of like a message saying, you know, don't be shedding any tears, don't be worrying about me, I'm fine just where I am.
Okay. We look forward to this. Cormac, good luck with the album, and thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure, thank you.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Here is Cormac Neeson.
I've been underground for a few years now, sleeping safe and sound while the world goes round. Been enjoying the peace and quiet, away from all the riots and the gossip. I've been laying low, had to go searching for my soul where I lost it. Don't wait up for me. Don't wait up for me. Now I finally found some peace. Once upon a time, oh, I thought I was priceless. Now I'm getting down with the wrong and the righteous. It's a ready-made deliverance, guilty and the innocent residing. So don't waste another tear, time will make it clear where I'm hiding. Oh yeah, don't wait up for me. Oh, don't wait up for me. Now I finally found some peace. Oh. Don't wait up for me. Oh yeah, don't wait up for me. I said don't you wait, don't you wait, don't you wait up for me. Now I finally found some peace.
Now, the vocal harmony trio, the Leading Ladies, are currently celebrating 15 years in the business. They're going to play for us live as well, and they're here in the studio. So let's welcome Michelle, Lynn, and Kira. Ladies, welcome. Michelle, last time we worked together, we were touring in a show called Soul Train, weren't we?
We were. That was a while ago. Yeah, that was a Motown and 70s tribute band, and the first band of that kind that I had ever sung in. So it was really good fun. I
It
really
was a great
enjoyed
fun
that
tour, it
time.
was.
Yeah.
But of course, we're here to talk about the Leading Ladies
Yes.
today. 15 years in the
Yes.
business. To take us way back to the start, how did you all get together? How did it come about?
Ciara and I first met actually when we were at school because we competed in Belfast Music Festival competitions then. I knew who Lynn was, but I didn't know her personally. So Peter Corey, bless him, it was his Some Enchanted Evening concert at the Odyssey and brought us together to be the main on-stage backing singers for the whole performance. And we just got on so well and actually discovered that even though individually our voices are very different, that when we sang together, they blended so beautifully and almost sounded like one voice on occasion. And then at the time, of course, I thought, well, actually there's no female vocal harmony groups in Northern Ireland. We wouldn't want it to stop here. We'd love to actually do something more with this, and decided to form a group then together.
And Lynn, what about some of the big highlights? Obviously performing with Peter Corey at the Odyssey was one. I know you've done Dublin as well with the Ireland Tenors, haven't you?
We have, yes. That was summertime. That was it was an adventure, great fun, beautiful place to perform. And it was really nice to work with the tenors as well. We had a wonderful time. There are so many, it's really quite difficult to go back and think of what they all are, but probably singing at Dalriada Festival was so much, there's fun with that, 2 days of that. Performing in the Ulster Hall, we had our own concert in the Ulster Hall, and it was Christmas time, so it was great fun. And I'm just trying to think back on them all now, it's so far back.
And of course, because you're singing all those great Celtic woman songs now as well, they must be going down really well for audiences, say, across in England and stuff, yeah?
Yes, we love singing the Celtic music. It suits all our voices, and because we're classically trained, we can use our classically trained voices in some of that music as well as some of the very traditional music that we sing as well.
Now, Ciara, what's life like on the road with the Leading Ladies? Are you all really good friends as well?
Do you know, I think that, to be honest, that's the reason why the Leading Ladies are still here after 15 years. It's a hard business, the music business, but we have made it fun along the way because we're really genuinely good friends. It's a family affair, so our band is part of our family. My husband Stephen's the guitarist, we have Jeffrey Cherry as our musical director, we have Stephen McCrae on bass, Colin Place on drums, and the fun that we have is fantastic. And we bring that fun, I have to say, to the stage. So it's not just about the great variety of music that we have, but it's also about connecting with the audience, having a bit of fun and sharing a bit of us and our mad lives with them as well.
And you do have crazy lives because you all have day jobs as well, don't you?
Yes, we certainly do. We're very busy ladies. We have young families, the three of us, and we have our day jobs as well. But our singing is very important to us, and it's a fantastic blessing and release to have, and we love to be able to share that.
And Ciara, you have your own school as well, don't you?
Yes, I have a school where I help build children's confidence and through music and life skills, and Lynn's a singing teacher as well, and Michelle has a massive job with the Ulster Orchestra, so we do have very busy, full lives.
Yeah. And Michelle, I was reading down the list of all the musicals that you ladies have appeared in over the years, and it seems like you've done every single musical there is out there.
Yes, probably. Probably. My favourites, I think, would be definitely The Merry Widow. I played Anna, and that was very glamorous role in the Opera House, and Mabel from Pirates of Penzance as well. So yes, it's just we do miss doing the shows. I haven't done a show for gosh about 8 years because again that takes a lot of time, as Ciara said, with demanding day jobs and family, and because we've been so busy as a trio as well and doing our other solo work too. Unfortunately, we just haven't had time to do the shows again.
And you met your husband doing a musical, didn't you?
I did. We were doing Guys and Dolls in the Opera House, 2003, and he had just joined the company, so we became really good friends, and we only actually became a couple 6 years ago. So yeah, 15 years we've known each other.
And there is such a great musical theatre scene here in Northern Ireland,
it's
isn't
amazing.
there?
It's amazing, and it has grown, and it's actually quite nice to step back and watch how it grows, because there are so many young people I teach, obviously, and in my family, all the young ones in my own family who are now taking part as well, and performing. My wee niece just performed there in Elf in the Waterfront, and to watch young ones come along and see how they perform now, it's really nice to step back and say, well, I did that, but look what's happening now. And to keep it going within our wee country is great.
Ciara, let's get back to the Leading Ladies. What's next in store for you? What's looking ahead into next year? What's happening?
Into the new year, because it's our very special year, with it being 15 years, we're going to record a new album. So that's going to take quite a bit of time, and also a very special celebratory concert for the Leading Ladies for the 15 years.
So we're all looking forward to Christmas. We're going to get nice and festive in just a second. So what's Christmas got in store for you then?
It's busy enough. Obviously, the Ulster Orchestra have many concerts, so I'll be involved in that. I have my own Christmas concert in Newtownards in December as well. And then it'll be a nice break over Christmas before the madness commences again in January. So nice family time, which I'm really, really looking forward to.
Great. Lynn, are you looking forward to Christmas?
Yes, really looking forward to Christmas. I love Christmas time, and we are very involved in our own community where we live. They would get together as a village and put on, I sort of think of going back to Dawn French and her Christmas nativity. It's a wee bit like that. So we are having our own live nativity, and my husband and I sing together, so we will actually be singing at that, and it's for a weekend. Really looking forward to it. And then we have our own nativity that we're involved in with our own kids in our own church, and we're very involved with that. So those sort of things are going to keep us very busy, but in such a wonderful way.
And Ciara, what's Christmas got in store for you then?
Disaster. My husband is the person who cooks in our house, and we have everybody to ours at Christmas, and he has broken his wrist.
Right, okay.
So it's going to be takeaway on Christmas Day. But no, it'll just be, as the girls saying, a bit of family time and time to relax and just sort of take stock and get ready and recharged for next year.
All right. Well, Ciara, Lynn and Michelle, thank you for joining us. Michelle, if people want to get more information on the Leading Ladies, how do they do that?
Well, our Facebook page is always up to date, and that's Leading Ladies Trio. We're on Twitter, Lead Ladies Trio, and we have a website, leadingladiesni.com.
Oh, there we go. Well, we're going to finish now with something festive, aren't we? So we look forward to this. Ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So here we go with their very own version of Silent Night. Here are the Leading Ladies.